My grandpa left me his mansion, but only if I lived with my worst enemy. Now I know why. The funeral was quiet. Just me, the rain, and the lawyer, Mr. Henderson. My grandfather was a man of cold logic and deep pockets, and apparently a very dark sense of humor. When Henderson read the will, I nearly choked. To my granddaughter, Elena, I leave the lakeside estate on one condition. She must reside there for 6 consecutive months with Mr. Julian Thorne. Julian, the guy who spent 4 years of high school making my life a living hell. The guy who accidentally tripped me into the fountain at prom and laughed when I cried. He walked into the office looking different. No expensive suit, just a frayed hoodie and eyes that looked like they hadn't seen sleep in a week. He didn't even look at me. He just signed the papers and walked out. For the first month, we were like ghosts. I stayed in the East Wing. He stayed in the West. We only crossed paths in the kitchen, where the air would turn to ice. I hated him. I hated his messy shoes. I hated the way he hummed while making toast. I hated that he was here. Then came the fever. It hit me at 3 in the morning. Chills, sweating. I couldn't even reach for the glass of water on my nightstand. I must have made a sound, because suddenly, the door opened. Julian didn't say a word. He just brought cool cloths for my forehead and sat in the chair by the window. He stayed there for 2 days. When I finally woke up, feeling human again, I asked him, "Why? You hate me, remember?" He looked at the floor, his voice barely a whisper. "I never hated you, Elena. I was jealous. My dad was your grandfather's gardener. I spent my whole childhood watching you play in that mansion through the fence, while my mom struggled to pay for my asthma meds. Your grandpa, he knew. He saw me watching. He told my dad that if I touched his world, he'd fire him. I stared at him, the realization hitting me like a physical blow. My grandfather hadn't trapped me with an enemy. He'd trapped me with the boy he'd spent a lifetime keeping in the shadows." Julian looked up, and for the first time, he didn't look like a bully. He looked like a brother I never knew I had. The mansion's secret heir and the truth behind the bully.